Hi BookTube. Today I'm just going to do like a first impressions review for As a God Might Be by Neil Griffiths. And I have not read the book yet. I just got it just today. And my first impressions obviously are that it's a really good book. I think the quality of the printing is pretty good. The cover art I think is outstanding. It looks like it's on a brushed canvas, but it's actually just flat paper. It's just the painting of the cover art is what makes it look like it's textured, but it's actually not. I think it's just beautiful. And my copy, it has the French flaps, and actually I bought a second copy for a gift because I think this would make a really awesome present for people. I love giving books as gifts. And yeah, just overall I just think that it's a really good book so far from what I've seen. The table of contents I think reveals a lot about maybe the structure of the story, or obviously the themes and the point of view and stuff. What I think is really interesting is it's broken into two books. Book 1 is the New Testament, which is interesting, and book 2 is actually the Old Testament, so it's actually reversed from the Bible, which I think is intriguing. And each book, it has different parts, and the chapters in each part, they reflect different aspects of the Bible, but not in a literal play-by-play style, which I think is interesting. It could be maybe a little bit more of an artistic twist on the Bible. And at the back of the book, he mentions in his notes, I don't want to show the ending because the ending's always the best part. At the back of the book, in his acknowledgements, he mentions his influences for writing this book is different writers, philosophers, and theologians, which I think is really interesting. And obviously Dostoevsky is one of the major influencers for it. So it's pretty interesting, and his acknowledgements are really heartfelt. I think that's very cool. So what I really wanted to mention also is just from watching his YouTube videos, I thought that this book would be very academic, or would have like an academic language or feel to it, but instead it's the language, it seems very contemporary and very accessible just to pretty much anyone who wants to read it. There are some exceptions. There are some absolutely exquisite lines of prose, so I think there's going to be a lot of quotable lines from this book. There's obviously humor too. Like I've been kind of flipping through it since I received it, and there's a lot of humor. Not a lot, but there's enough humor. One thing that I wanted to really mention, also I really like when an author puts a quote at the beginning of chapters, because I think that literature, it's part of a conversation, and quotes are just a really awesome nod to that. I think it's just fabulous when authors do that. An example of, there's another quote. Every chapter has its own quote. This chapter I think is going to be one of my favorite chapters. It's Deus Absconditus, I think is how you pronounce that, and it's got Wittgenstein. So this chapter has a lot of interesting things, I think, just from what I've flipped through and what I've seen. Like God's mathematics, the impossible is impossible. Is it this part he mentions? There's a part where he mentions Dostoevsky's biography, and it could be a different part, but it's just overall I just think it's a really good book. And there's a lot of quotable lines, like for example, you live a life of the mind. It's so simple but yet so profound at the same time. And the opening line is also great. He built a house and next to it a church. It's another one that's very simple but very profound and just beautiful. And yeah, and of course this one is signed. He's so sweet. so that's all. So, oh, and I'll show you the back. So the spine, beautiful yellow spine. It's published by Dodo Press, and the back of it has the synopsis. So I think I covered everything. Yes. Okay, so thank you. Thanks for listening. Bye, BookTube.